Hi guys, firstly thank you very much for all the positive comments and emails I've received regarding my last video. Yes, it was quite a surprise to me that so many of you were interested in the topic. Yes, and this video is basically a follow-up on that one. Just a reminder for those not knowing, the previous video was about choosing a company's legal form, a practical guide, the tip I basically gave you guys in choosing a legal form. Now this video is about the question I've received the most often, namely, Christoph, a while ago we set up a company, right? So far so good. But now we want to change the company legal form. Is that possible? Well, the good news is yes, it is possible. And as a matter of fact, in 2016, when we received new legal forms in the Luxembourg legislation, also the procedure for changing the company's legal form has been revised. Yes. So the good news is yes, you can definitely change the company's legal form, at least technically. Yes, and that's when we go to the bad news. The bad news is it might be technically possible, but it might practically not be possible. And why is that? There might be 3 reasons in practice which I see could be a stumbling block or a hurdle for you. Namely, it depends on the current legal form, because if you have this type of company and you want to change it into another type of company, it might be more difficult. I'm especially thinking about changing from partnerships to corporate companies. Yes, so these are the things in that respect that you need to think about, or could at least make your life a bit more difficult. Secondly, what I see is if investors have mixed feelings about changing the company's legal form, and that might have several reasons. Namely, tax planning is definitely one of them. I would say it might be that for one investor this type of company form provides personally a more beneficial tax situation than another. I'm thinking especially about, once again, transparent entities, tax transparent entities versus tax opaque entities. And then another thing I see in practice is if investors have a power struggle amongst themselves, and this is where something pops up regularly. Divorce, yes. In such cases, or families, these are cases where investors could have some less diplomatic intentions and could make your dream of changing the company legal form basically very, very hard. Yes, a lot of diplomacy will be needed. However, in such a case, I can give you a tip. If you have a shareholders agreement in place amongst themselves, you might find that there is a clause that can unblock the situation. Yes, so if you don't have one, well, you have to refer to the law and the articles of incorporation or the articles of association of your company regarding that matter. But have a look. Maybe there's a shareholder agreement in place, and that might just make your life a little bit easier. Then lastly, what could be a stumbling block for you is the company's financial situation. Yes, the financial situation could lead to investors not wanting to invest more into the company, and sometimes it is required that the capital needs to be increased if you want to change your company's legal form. And if your investors are hesitant to invest, then you might be blocked on that part. Yes, so that is basically the 3 most common reasons I have seen regarding changing the legal form a bit more difficult. Apart from that, if you can manage this, the process is fairly doable. I would say it does require planning, it does require organization, and if you're contemplating in changing the legal form, I would definitely advise that you come and see professionals such as ourselves, so that we can help you organize and see what we can do, because you will have to speak to your accountant. There are reasons for that, technical procedural reasons for that, and you might need to speak to your auditor as well, so better get in touch quickly if you're contemplating changing the legal form. We can definitely help you there. And yes, once again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop me an email. My email address is here below, and next time I am going to do a video. Yes, I've thought about this a lot, and I thought what could interest you guys. Well, I'm going to speak about the beautiful tax treaty we have in Luxembourg with Liechtenstein. Yes, Liechtenstein. Luxembourg is one of the few countries that actually has a good tax treaty with Liechtenstein, and I'm going to tell you a bit more how this could be interesting for in certain situations to look at Liechtenstein, Luxembourg. Oh yes, so that's something to look forward to. And lastly, I want to tell you guys that I will actually be giving a short course, 2-hour course on setting up your company in Luxembourg. I am going to talk about mainly the public limited company and the private limited company, as these are the forms mostly used in Luxembourg. The course will be on the 28th. And the link here below is where you can get your tickets, and the tickets are fairly are limited because I want to keep it a small course, so it's interactive, and I can also answer your questions directly at the course. As I said, the 28th, it's in the beautiful Hotel Livik here in the north of Luxembourg. You can come and see and join us, and remember, the tickets are limited. See you guys then. Bye.